Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. It has been around 1 or 2 weeks since Narma the Returned finally got buffed. We have been waiting for this for a very long time. In today's video, we're gonna take her for a spin and see if she's actually worth unvaulting now. Can we actually do anything with her, or she's still going to feel pretty damn underwhelming? If you enjoyed the content, do me a favor, guys. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot, and I do appreciate it. Let's quickly talk a bit about the champion, right? I am currently on the test server. That's why I look so freaking rich in terms of gems. I wish I would have that many on my account. Basically, she's been in the game now for like 4+ years or so. It has been a very long time. This is the first buff she's actually getting. Now, her base stats are pretty good overall. She's not a damage dealer, as in a raw damage dealer. She's a support champion, but she can do damage by detonating poisons, and we're gonna test that out as well. The stats are actually really good because she has a bit of everything. With the A1, Hell Crescent attacks an enemy and has a chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. You need 4 books in here, and that will allow you to 75%
okay, yeah, my voice is pretty equalized.
Increase the duration of debuffs on the target. With the A2, Weirding Dance, I mean, she's pretty weird. She kind of reminds me of some X-Men characters, I don't know why. This fully booked will be on a 3-turn cooldown. Now, she requires 6 books in here, 4 in the A1, that's 10 books straight off the back, and she really needs the books. As you can see, it increases the chance to land the debuffs, and it decreases the cooldown, so she loves reading quite a bit. Attacks an enemy, has a chance of placing a decreased attack debuff for 3 turns, also has a chance of placing a leech debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Then instantly activates all
he can ignore the block damages when the burns are out.
Heal all allies by 25% of this champion's max HP. The higher the HP, the bigger the healing. This can be very nice as well for whoever is interested in using her in a clan boss team, for example, right? We're not gonna test her in clan boss, but if you guys want to see a video, a team with her, an unkillable, a non-unkillable team, or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below.
Because we really need some type of like really good damage.
Necessarily important content for a lot of you guys, not because the clan boss itself is not important in terms of resources, but because there's so many different variants of teams and champions that you can use in there that is kind of like walk in the park now.
Yeah, we have to ban the Marius
4 or 5 years ago.
When you run a bunch of mythicals like this, it's kind of your only choice. 6 more
books in here as well. That's a total of 16 books so far. Toxic Trance. This will be on a 3-turn cooldown, fully booked as well.
I have Norma's 6 stars, so I'm listening to this video in the background to try to like get an idea of where I would want to use her. Obviously in the arena, but
places the
to what
poison
extent?
and the poison sensitivity debuff.
Curious what his opinion is.
For 3 turns instead. What's really interesting about her is the passive, because it brings damage reduction as well. So whenever an ally is attacked, has a 25% chance of placing a poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. Whenever this champion is attacked, that chance goes up to 50. Enemies under poison debuffs inflict less damage per poison debuff on them, stacking up to 25%. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. And then, of course, you have an accuracy aura for dungeons. Now, let me tell you one thing quick related to the clan boss. Basically, poison detonation in the clan boss sucks. You never want to use champions like Xavier, Elena Reel, Narma the Returned in the
there ain't nothing I can do
mainly
here.
Because you're gonna stack poisons, and if you're using this instantly activates all poisons, you're basically capped with the damage. So you're not actually gonna do good damage. You're just gonna waste the poisons, and instead of doing more damage with every turn the boss is taking, you're basically reducing the damage that you're going to deal. Now, this skill is very important because it will land decreased attack and leech, okay, which are 2 debuffs that you kind of want to have on the clan boss depending on what team you are running. So just because of that, I really don't think she's going to be extremely good versus the actual clan boss. I would rather use Spain, for example, which is an epic champion. She does bring in debuffs, poisons, and she doesn't detonate crap to basically ruin our run. But of course, you do not have this damage reduction. This activation is very similar with what Xavier would do. Elena Reel is not like Theodore, for example, where he just activates them, right? Kind of like they've changed the wording now, so everything seems to be the same with the poison, but it used to be slightly different on Xavia. You're gonna see exactly what she does. Either way, we're gonna take her in for a spin to see if we can solo anything with her, if we can speed run anything with her, and we're even going to try her in a Chimera run, even though I think it's pretty hard to build a team around her. So this is the first build. This will be mainly used for dungeons, not Chimera or anything like that. We have a regen set, an immortal, pinpoint, just to gain some more speed and accuracy, and we have one feral piece too to give us even more accuracy. We have some resistance, we have a good amount of speed, very good HP, and decent defense as well. Total stats, you can see them right here. 100k HP is actually really, really good, and it's not that insane to achieve the stat because this is not ascended, this is ascended, this is not maxed. It's not like it's perfect gear or anything like that. It's good gear, but it's not like we follow to get the exact perfect HP stats or
I think she wants to try to kill me, honestly.
We are running a golden elixir relic on her. This is just basically help her out in case if she needs some more survivability, even though I highly doubt it, but there aren't that many relics that will be that helpful. We could run one of these ones. Let me just see if I can find it, because I'm on the test server. Everything is super bugged with the relics and things, and
I mean, she's more afraid of Cavalax than Commodus, Armand, Siegfried, Rosary, any of them.
More damage with the poisons, but that will be based on what attack we have on her. And
I will say that gives Mac,
I don't think it's as
he'll watch
impactful in PvE
There's
as
not
it is
really
in
any way around
PvP,
that.
where you're just demolishing enemies with a Calvalax or a Nal or heck, even a Gnishak, right?
Damn it.
We have Brimstone on her. I have a 4-star soul. I cannot dodge this, unfortunately. It was already done, but I'm still planning to do a showcase on the champion. I decided to go with Brimstone mainly for PvE content, right? She's not a PvP champion, but for PvE, I feel like is the best thing that she can bring to
this matchmaking is all over the place.
And then we have the masteries. We have offense and support. We have War Master as tier 6. One thing to keep in mind, getting Sniper can help you with the passive, okay? The only problem is if you're
that champion, I've never seen her.
Chimera fight, for example, or any fight in reality, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna fill up the debuff bar with poison so quick that you're just not gonna have time to land any other debuffs, and that can be problematic, right? Maybe you want to land a diffuse attack, maybe a defense down or something else, and you're not gonna be able to do it because the passive will have a very high chance to land the poison. So that's why I did not pick Sniper, but that's something to consider. You can drop Spirit Haste and pick Sniper instead. Now we want to get the Arcane Celerity to push more Thermeter, Lord of Steel, get the Cycle of Magic.
Leo.
Pretty straightforward. Let's quickly head into the Dragon Slayer. We're gonna go to stage 10. We're gonna drop everybody else from here, and we're gonna bring in 4 random champions. That will give her some speed when they die, and we want to see if we can solo the boss, and if we can, how fast. I'm not gonna do a preset or anything like that. I'm just gonna let her do basically her own decisions based on the AI. So she's gonna start with the A3. She used an A2 right there. We got the Leech, the diffuse attack on one of the enemies. She is getting hit pretty hard, but they're not able to kill her, especially with this relic that we have on. She activates some of the poisons, but I don't think we had any debuffs on that target, because when she used the A3, the debuffs did not spread. And that's the Leech. We landed the poison sensitivity, but I am not seeing the other poisons. There we go. So now we got poisons on everybody because they're constantly attacking us as well, and we just absolutely whooped their ass. Almost 500,000 damage by detonating only those the few poisons we had on, right? We're keeping very well on full HP, and she's doing it pretty quick. Now I've done it even faster. I think with a preset it can be better. The thing is, sometimes the AI will attack the same target with the A3, sometimes it won't. When it does, it's quickly gonna spread the poisons to the rest. Maybe we got resisted before and I haven't noticed it, but you can definitely clear the waves much, much faster. It almost feels like when she's using the A3 sometimes, you're not even seeing the debuffs, right? Look at the activation, beautiful. I'm not really the person that loves soloing content, and that's mainly because I think you know what, I'll rather have my teams go faster. If I'm doing an entire tournament, right, let's just say I'm doing a dragon tournament, for me it's not important to level up 3-4 seconds while I'm
I thought Shredder was supposed to be shitty.
It's just not important for me. But I know a lot of you guys value that. A lot of you guys would like to do that. So here we are. Narma the Return, absolutely dumping hard on the dragon. Like, that activation is really, really strong. Really strong. And what's really good about her and her activation is the fact that she doesn't need stupid attack, crit damage, crit rate, or anything like that, like Xavier would need, okay? Xavier can do a lot of work too, but she's so stat hungry that it's just very, very hard to build her, at least for the majority of the people. Like this, I'm not saying this is a very easy build, right? Because we have high HP, but it's not required to have 1,000,000 HP. You can do it with lower stats, okay? And it will get the job done. So, 1 minute and a bit to solo the dragon with a preset. Maybe
I really wish they would add Siege to the arena.
I'm not 100% sure if,
or at least come out with some champions that had its aura.
Because the main thing is to target the same enemy, right? So we're gonna put this as the first. Feels like she's already doing it anyway, right? So first, and let's give it another go. I'm really not sure if we got resisted or anything like that before. So now we do have 3 debuffs on that target. I'm curious if we're gonna be able to spread the debuffs at some point from that enemy. Okay, so that was A1. That was the A2. I don't think she had an A3 available there. Okay, A1, A3. What are the poisons? You see, we're not landing the poisons from the A3. Just the poison sensitivity.
I expected that to hit harder.
It feels like something super weird. Either the poisons are invisible, either she's just not landing them. And I do have plenty of accuracy. But that is a bit odd.
Well, they don't need to be soft.
Either maybe it's a bug, or maybe we just got resisted again and I've missed the little text on the screen. Like, I'm not seeing the poisons from the A3 going on anybody. I'm just seeing the A2 activating damage on pretty much almost everyone else. But for whatever reason, the poisons from the A3 are not landing consistently. Now they did. Because they should be landing at least on one of the targets that she's attacking, right? I'm not expecting it to go on everybody, but... So right now we won't have that A3 available. We're gonna go with the A1, A3, okay? So we have a bit of resistance. We used the A2, activated all of those poisons. A1, A3 again.
You don't see owls get banned too often.
No poisons landing on that target either. So something is
I banned his arrow, but...
There's no way in hell I'm just getting resisted run after run. It almost feels like there's something else happening here. Now I might notice everything when I'm editing the video, but I won't be able to tell you what I've noticed, right? So feel free to put it in the comments down below if you've noticed something as well, right? Okay, A3 now. That landed the poisons. A1. A3 again, because we put a poison sensitivity there, I think. Or we just increased the duration of it. A1 again. A3 now. Okay, so we put the poisons on everybody. A2. Yeah, that was super super weird. Now we're doing it again. So A3 on the boss. Passive did not proc. Passive proc now. A3 again. Passive proc again. A3 again, and the dragon is dead. Okay, something was pretty weird there though. Either way, let me just show you how you can speedrun with this. You can replace a seer without a problem. Now I do have a double Staltus on my account, which honestly is not really doing it faster than this thing. They're very, very similar in terms of timing. The problem is you need crazy good gear for seer. And if you don't have that, you can't really do a team like this. You can drop one of the Staltus for Theodore, and you're still gonna get a good team, 30, 40 turn count.
Yeah, I've got to increase the accuracy on these.
You can always do something like this. The reason why I have Theodore in here is just to put a poison sensitivity, basically make it a bit faster. What we can do is
I got caught up on that
double rotate
and
per wave. So instead of taking 5 turns, we're gonna take 10 turns or less than 10 turns per wave, And like that, you're still gonna speed farm it, but it won't be as fast as it is right here. Or you can find a different champion to apply that poison sensitivity. The whole idea is with the skill timing for the preset, we start with the A2. Doesn't really matter what she does here. She can go with this. Then we have Tomb Lord. He can do whatever, but here we're doing a A2. Actually, we do not need to use that, and we do not need to use that just in case if somebody survives. Theodore, A2, A1 on the boss. Kymar, reset, A1. We don't want the sleep on it because that will be an extra debuff on the enemies, and we don't like. And Battle Khazar is just gonna run free, gonna run wild. So let's kick it off. If I would bring in a full feral set, probably we might be able to push in a bit of more damage. We're getting resisted left and right here with the poisons by the looks of it. So this might keep us a little bit longer in here. So Kymar with the reset, beautiful, poisons. We only got resisted once now.
What is up with Loki's accuracy? He's not landing anything.
Wipe them. We're gonna do another run after just to show you. So here, of course, the more poisons we land, the better. Before she's able to use the A2 skill, because we're going to be able to actually do a lot of damage with the activation of poison, or detonation, how it used to be called, right? Look at that. 3.8 million. We almost one-shot the boss there, at least from the HP level that he had left to 0, and there we go. So this was 44 turns, and we got 46 seconds. But that is mainly because on this very first wave, we actually got wrecked by getting resisted on the same target. Why? So Xayvia can do that as well. Now, I remember when I tried my Xayvia to do this in this dungeon, she needed like crazy stats to achieve it. So whatever multipliers Narma has now, they seem to work really well for this particular content. Like really well to get this job done, right? Because with Xayvia, it's just not working as good. And Xayvia is well known as being the best one in terms of dealing high damage when she detonates the poisons. I know they've made changes a few months ago, the way all this works, but hey, I think this is pretty solid. And you could do something like this even in the Doom Tower, right? Very similar with Seer teams, Calvalax, Xayvia teams. If I would have a Calvalax in here, it would be really good. But let's give it a go. I only have one Kymar, so once we're gonna reach the last wave, it's not going to be as fast, right? Poisons, poison sensitivity, you wipe them. I think on this level, because this hard mode is literally the first round of enemies, I don't think it's so important to bring the poison sensitivity. So you could bring a double Kymar or something else to reset. But later, on tougher waves, I think it's gonna be a bit more important. Okay, they've transferred all of the poisons to me, those Lissandras, but still, 35 seconds on a wave in the Doom Tower hard mode, right? And that's what a Seer would do as well. So from this point of view, I think Narma is actually pretty good now. Not for my account, because I already have a super stack Seer, but a lot of you guys could benefit a lot from this champion, especially in this dungeon progression. Now, this poison strat will work as well, for example, in the Spider, okay? Not on hard mode, so you can forget about the hard mode doing so much damage with the poisons. But if we're talking about the rest of it, and this might not necessarily be the best stage because of the affinity, but we could go versus this stage. So let me just quickly pick up my team. Where is it? There we go. No weak hits from Tomb Lord here. That's why I didn't want to go on magic, right? But this should allow us to push in big damage. I can't really remember if we can do this on stage 25, 24, or it's only up to stage 20. That's something that I used to run a long time ago. So we're gonna check. Maybe you cannot do it anymore on these stages, because when they've introduced new difficulty, it was something with the passive, right? So I think this will block us, even though it's poison. Okay, but either way, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 poisons. I could go with the A3 instead, put more poisons. Do that. I could go A1. Would be nice to be able to extend those poisons. If I'm doing it with him, he's gonna activate some too as well, but then he's gonna increase the duration, so it's not like it's really gonna make much of a difference. So right now we can just hit the spider and see. See, it's because of the difficulty. Yeah, when I went into it, I was like, wait. You cannot do that up to only up to 3. But it's probably not as. What is up, Raiders? Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video, guys. We are currently on the test server. We have access to the new Fusion champion. We're gonna take him in for a spin. We're gonna see if it's actually worth sweating to try and get this champion, because I know a lot of you guys, including myself, were just not really prepared for another fusion after the EMNT event. The main thing is, can we actually just skip it, relax without having any second thoughts, or is a champion that might be worth going for? We're gonna test pretty much all that. If you guys enjoy the content, do me a favor, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. The new fusion champion, guys, of course, is going to be a new O-grid, and that, of course, is going to be Frost. The only problem is that I'm half blind right now and I cannot find him, but there he is, Frost Wall Breaker. The design looks actually pretty decent. What I do not like about him is the affinity, spirit affinity. Personally, I think that in the current meta, there's just not much room for him, okay? And that's basically because he's heavily dominated by magic champions. We do have a lot of spirit champions too, or force champions around, but some of the most annoying champions are actually magic. You have Max, you have Nice, you have Siegfried, and I'm pretty sure I missed a few more. You have Mans, etc. The list goes on, right? So the main issue that you can encounter is just to weak hit, and it's not really gonna get the job done. Now his base stats are actually pretty good. The base speed 110 looks really juicy. We get some accuracy. We have decent attack, 1.4k, good survivability. With A1, which is a triple attacker, where he requires 4 boosts, attacks one enemy 3 times, and has a chance to decrease the detonation countdown of all bomb debuffs on the target by a turn. Also has a chance to place stun for 1 turn as well. That will go up to 50% for both of the attacks once you fully book him. With the second skill, Battlefield Safer, on 4 turn cooldown, fully booked. You need 4 more books in here. Chance to land the debuff will go up to 100%, and you will basically place 2 bomb debuffs on each enemy that will detonate after 2 turns. Will fill this champion's thermic by 25% for each enemy with bomb debuff. Now if you're going versus this team, even if you are taking the first turn, okay, let's just say you're going with Shuzan or different champion, you're giving him enough speed, he's gonna thermite that you're gaining for landing all of the bombs on all of the enemies will basically allow you to rotate again and use the H3. You can detonate the bombs or decrease the duration of the bombs by 1 turn, not detonate them because they still need to take a turn on the enemies. If they are under stone skin, this block active skill debuff becomes relevant because you're not going to be able to land it, right? Because the bombs don't actually break the stone skin in the process. They still need to take a turn. With the passive, fills all allies thermometer by 5% each time a bomb debuff is detonated. That's actually nice. The team can rotate faster, faster, and faster. Has a 20% chance of activating an instant turn impact on this champion whenever an ally or an enemy is killed by a bomb debuff. So the enemies need to die in order to have that 20% chance to activate that instant turn, which makes it fairly hard to proc often. Plus, it's only 20% chance. Then you have an attack aura for all battles. Personally, I do not find bombs that detonate after 2 turns really effective at all in the current meta. We already have much better options in the game that can get the job done properly. We have a mythical champion, which I'm not really going to talk much about him because, yes, we all know him. Pomidas is goated. If you don't have him, no point to talk about him, right? But we do have Nishak. Nishak was Christmas Fusion, I think, 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Basically, he has very good skill, and this is what the Fusion champion should have had as well in order to stand a chance in the current meta, at least in my opinion. He can attack all enemies, places the bombs, grants an extra turn. Moves onto the skill that increases the duration of the bombs, which means that the bombs will be on a 1-turn cooldown. When the enemies take a turn, bang, they most likely are going to die. Now, the new Fusion champion won't really be able to do that, and I'm going to show you exactly how it plays out. But first, let's quickly talk a bit about the build. What I've done is actually moving the gear from my Nishak to him. Of course, not the accessories because they are from different factions, but my Nishak was always built on pinpoint plus perception, and he was fairly fast, 300 feet speed, good attack, good accuracy. I do not have a blasting axe on him, I have no relic on him, and I'm not really planning to give him a relic, but if you guys are curious to know about relics, we can talk about that too. Basically, that's a good attack. That's a good amount of accuracy, of course. Once again, in today's meta, especially high end, you will require 800 plus accuracy, or you will need to bring in an Arbais to boost your accuracy to make sure you're gonna land the debuff. And you do need that to increase attack. Bomb champions, at least the attack-based ones, they do need to have the increased attack if you want them to actually make the move. No relic, no blasting just yet. I have the boots in him already because without the boots, there's literally no point in considering this champion. Okay, the chances to debuff are low, the cooldowns are long, which are just not
Well, that should be.
any sense. Okay, it's pointless to use this champion without boots. And the passives don't require any. Masteries, we have offense and deep support, sorry. You want to get the extra accuracy. None of the offense masteries will help you whatsoever with the bombs. Some of these are okay. You got a bit of a self-healing here with Life Drinker, maybe a Whirlwind of that would be good. The only problem 56, 56, and 56, 56. That's what he is basically doing in terms of damage with his bombs. Okay, I'm actually gonna back out here, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm gonna show you how bad the AI actually is. Okay. This is the most counterproductive thing ever.
Yeah,
this is
that.
Like seeing even a Xavier starting with an A3 instead of starting with an A2 to apply poison. Why would he try to decrease the duration of bombs on the enemies when there are no bombs on the enemies? Because he used the wrong skill. So the AI is busted. You can only use this champion with presets or by manually. If not, you're gonna end up in this situation where he's just basically killing his own bolter. Okay, it's just counterproductive. Now, we've seen the AI. What I do want to show you now is basically moving that gear onto Nishak. One thing to keep in mind, Mike Nishak is powered at +2. He does have a 5-star blessing, but the most important thing is that this blessing will not affect the bomb. Okay, I have no relic on him. The masteries are more or less identical. Little dose will increase the damage for poison only in PvP. The only thing that we are gaining from here are basically the extra stats. 750 attack and the 75 accuracy. The empowerment does not matter as long as you are more or less matching the stats. So we've seen the stats on Frost 7 plus 5k attack. Nishak is going to have slightly more, but that's something that I can easily adjust by changing this ring, sorry, and just giving him anything else that is not attack, like this one. So we are losing 700 attack. That might be a bit too much. Maybe we have something else that will still give him a bit of attack. So this is losing 285. This is losing 550, which is a bit too much. What about this? 600. We can go with this, and I'm gonna use Leap. Okay, so we gain 10% more, which puts him at exactly 7.5k attack. Exactly what Frost had before. Now we do have a bit of more accuracy, but that does not matter. The blessing, I repeat once again for people that do not understand, does not matter. Okay, because the stats are matched, are identical. Of course, Nishak has 100% less attack on the base attack, which means that it's going to be a bit harder for you to reach this stat with Nishak, but that's still not the point. What I'm going to quickly show you now is how much damage we're going to do with his bombs versus those waves. So we're going to take him out of the team, and we're going to bring in Nishak, okay? And he's right here. We're not going to use the aura from somebody else, but look at this. Oh my god, this champion actually has a good AI. So we put the bombs, we're going to stop the auto. We're just going to bother all of those champions right there. We're going to go for Venus. We're going to ignore the damage for Venus because it's to the weaker now. Okay, so I'm going to use this. They're finally going to take a turn. For Venus, that was 140k that weaken, 112k, 112k, 112k. So literally, the damage from Nishak's bomb is almost double. And for whoever thinks differently, I'm gonna give the other champions a blessing. Okay? So Nishak is 100.
Let's try this again.
112k with bombs. I'm gonna go at the Bastion. I'm pretty convinced that I might have a soul for here, right? Yeah, I do. We do have a new mythical champion, which I will be testing pretty soon. I'm gonna put 5-star blessing on this too. And the thing is, there are not really many blessings that are helping combos. Okay, so kind of like no matter what you're looking at here, none of them will really benefit the champion. Haven Cast will increase the damage inflicted by the champion according to the number of ups them. I'm pretty convinced that, as is saying it right here, it won't increase the damage from complete offense, so that is irrelevant. If we're looking at anything else, him little dose. Why? Because this doesn't work TV anyway, and let's keep it fair from Nisha. But what I will do, we're gonna gain all of those additional stats on him now. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm bringing that gear back on him. And now we're gonna have 8,300 attack. We literally have 800 more attack than Nisha has. Okay? That is a lot of extra attack on the champion. Very curious to see how will he perform now with 5-star blessing and of course the additional stats. The blessing is irrelevant. I'm gonna repeat it again because I'm sure somebody's gonna wake up and say something in the comments. So we have the bomb. We're gonna detonate. Or detonate. Decrease the duration of the bomb because it's not instantly detonating. A1 on Venus. And we got 62k, 62k. I think before it was 56k, right? So we got an increase of 6,000, or we've got no increase whatsoever. 62, 62. I think it was 62 before as well, right? Or was 56? Let me know in the comments down below because I literally lost it right now. I forgot, and I won't be able to check it until I'm editing the video, right? But either way, if we haven't actually increased the damage with all of that attack, something might be a bit weird, right? So that's basically what the champion can do. Now I will change the blessing on him. The multipliers are clearly much better on Nisha. In terms of a blessing, in order to get something that will benefit the champion, I'll either go with Soul Reap or I'll go with Lightning Haste. Not many options on the table. I could go with an Intimidating Presence, but let's actually get the Lightning Haste. Okay, that's pretty good. Now what you could do is making sure that you are getting a relic on him that will enable you to bring these circular gemstones. Because you have this one, bomb debuffs placed by the wearer deal 10% more damage. And the good thing is that, as much as I'm aware of it, they do stack. So for example, if we're gonna go for, let's just say, the wand will have room for 2 circular gemstones, which means that we can boost the bomb damage by 20%.
Well, that was good.
But I'm not gonna give him
so hungry.
That's just something to keep in mind. If we're gonna go on to PvP, and I do want to find a team that can actually do exactly what I was saying that they will do. And we have this one right here. And I'm gonna go in this format, okay? They have one fast champion, the rest are most likely pretty slow. Now, we are already pretty damn stacked. We have 349 speed, we have Arbais, that's gonna boost our turn meter, give us the increased attack, the increased accuracy, and just check what is happening when we are landing those bombs. So, can we land them on everybody? It seems like it. Hopefully we're not going to weak hit with him. So let's use the A2 skill. Okay, we landed the bombs on everybody because you cannot weak hit actually with this skill. You're not attacking. You can only weak hit with the third skill. But what happened is a fast champion had on us. 100% turn meter is not enough. And right now, the only thing that we can pray for is that the A1 will actually detonate the bombs on that Narcissus before he's going to absolutely dump on us. 1, 2, 3 is that. Now the damage from the bombs in PvP versus these champions is actually much better. Right now, we actually have the ability to go again because the passive proc and gave us that instant turn. Okay? One enemy died, 20% chance proc. We're gonna go versus this Cora. Hopefully we're gonna kill her too. Detonated the bomb as soon as she's ready to take a turn.
We've won a few Hydras since we've geared
bang, bang.
Armand, so we might go in after this and check our Sonic gear and see if we can get him a little faster.
And we got rid of the other one.
Without sacrificing accuracy.
The 50% chance procs from the A1.
Accuracy is kinda king right now, at least on champions like that.
As well, in order to be able to
but speed is still right in line.
Now, if I was gonna bring in Agnishak instead, for example, and I know not everybody has Agnishak, but I do want to compare them because they're both legendary champions, and a lot of you guys might be curious. Well, I have him. Is this champion worth it? Out of the faction wars, I think making the faction wars, yeah, if you need a champion for that particular faction, is worth going to kill. But if you don't need that, is a big question mark if this champion will actually really benefit your account. Are you really gonna play him, or are you just gonna throw him in the vault and let the dust settle, right? But let's try to find a couple of more things. We're gonna go versus the turtles. So right here we are not expecting to have.
Considering what affinities his team is, I'm surprised that he banned the Wukong, because Wukong is weak affinity to basically the whole team.
Secondary turn meter booster or champion that can push him to take his other turn, and we're gonna try that versus that team that we had right there with the other champion with Fabian. Heck, you could run 3 turn meter boosters, but it's not that relevant, is it? I think in live arena you're really going to struggle with it. So what I can do is this: give him with choose and a turn with a bombs, right? Now, thankfully, this team is very, very slow, and we were able to take that turn before my Arbais even had a chance to do it.
Well, that
works. What I can do right now, and look how many weak hits we got right there. Or we probably even got resisted on some, but we've got a lot of weak hits. And we just got absolutely obliterated, regardless of the fact that we were able to use the 8.
Oh no, you already got Gizmac down.
I don't think we got resisted, but it does seem like we weak hit there, probably weak hit on her. He procced the passive, which is odd because bombs usually do not trigger his passive. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna attack this team again. See what exactly happened right there. Maybe we had some bad luck with something. I'm not even sure what. So instant turn. I don't think they have enough resistance anyway. We are landing the bombs, and let me just put it on slow mo. Okay, so we've got that on everybody now. Okay, activated that. I can push the turn, but right now it's
damn it, Fabian.
I could even do this right now if I want to. Hello? Let me use the skill. I can do that. And now I can try and basically get him down. Bombs detonated. Instant turn from the passive. We got lucky. That rock. And he finally died as well. But if we're gonna try to find the exact same team we fought before, because I think that's gonna be.
I can't believe I lost that. That did not look like a tough team when I started out.
The other ones were not enough in the meta. We got another magic one. But let's actually find the exact same team. Yang, where are you hiding? Because that was the perfect example. That was the perfect example. We've seen exactly how that enemy actually cut on us. And I want to basically see if we can somehow break it with a secondary perimeter booster. There we go. So what I'm going to do right now, the whole idea is that both my Arbais and Shuzan are faster than his Fabian. Fabian cut on us before, even though we landed all of the bombs and we gained that 100% everything. So what I'm going to try to do right now is use basically Shuzan, give the instant turn to the bombs, get the thermometer 100%. But because that was not enough thermometer before to move in front of Fabian, what I'm hoping is that my Arbais will take the next turn, push the thermometer, and Frost is gonna take another turn before he gets to move. Let's actually see if that's going to work, or it's just something that might work in theory. versus this exact team because I want to get the full thermical, land all of the bombs. I'm curious if the instant turn will somehow push him to take a turn anyway if he lands all of the bombs. Use resisted again, which kind of sucks. This makes it really difficult because without the increased accuracy, I'm not going to be able to get the job done.
We just fought this guy.
I mean, how much accuracy can you have on Korra? I do have 750, 780 accuracy, whatever I have on him. That should work. We might have
I guess so, because we backed out.
Go for that 3%, you know?
Okay.
That doesn't work. Or
we'll
maybe,
keep it,
maybe just bring in a rally.
No, nothing we're excited
that will
about.
give him more accuracy. So let's quickly just see what we can get on him that gives us a lot of additional accuracy. That's speed and HP. This is accuracy only at level 15 though, so that's not something that we're looking for. We're looking for accuracy reduces the chance of applying debuffs, stealing or removing buffs against the wearer. This will work. We don't really care about that part, we just care about getting that accuracy. Do I even have enough currency to get this done? And I'm not gonna give him any gemstones that will increase the damage.
I don't understand what you're asking.
If anything, will give him some accuracy quick. So increases the wearer's accuracy when using increased cooldown effect. No. Increases the wearer's resistance. Increases the no. Accuracy, the wearer gains per meter. HP, per meter.
Legendary book, I'll take that.
Nope, not what we need. What about this one? Each debuff on them, we won't have any debuffs. Actually, we will have the HP one, that's it. The weather ignores 5%. Okay, perfect. You know what? That's exactly what we're gonna get. If this is not enough accuracy to deal with that on Korra, the game is just broken. Okay, she can have literally 1000 accuracy, it doesn't matter. Resistance. Let's give it another go. And see if this will work. Okay?
Let's take her out.
There we go. Much better.
Was it Theodesia?
He's still not getting that.
I just know she's an annoying champion.
Second booster. Now, the next thing is we weak hit on Ankora, we weak hit on Ismac, magic champions. I could just use the A1, let her revive, that's fine. We got polymorph damn, so the bombs are gone. That sucks. We're gonna kill Narcissus. That Ankora will die. We're gonna try to put block active skills on him before he's gonna dump hard on us. We're gonna revive on that. Instant turn. Kill her if we can. Beautiful. I'm quickly going to...
We need Chamaria to get... Oh, they banned Chamaria.
Continuous skills up and running before we die.
Yeah.
Can do that, that's fine. Let's put the block active skills on him again. I need to wait for Ismac to come out of the polymorph state because if I'm gonna do anything right now, it's gonna be pretty pointless. Okay, come on. And we're gonna rinse and repeat. Bombs. Not enough Termita to go straight after it, but we still gain something. Instant turn with her. We keep. Now, probably a lot of you guys are like, well, you know what, Scratch? I don't have a Shuzan to do these things, and kind of like only works with a Shuzan. So, how is this really going to be helpful? Well, I just wanted to show you that this is kind of like the only way on how you can make him behave like a Nisha. Get that and it's too complicated. You might not have room for two in your team, and I don't think that he's that crazy. Now, I will use him in a couple of different teams without having a million thermical boosters. We can actually just go in like that. If they have immunity, that will create struggling with the bomber, you have a Volgot and a Gothic Neri. Go and get him. He might allow you to climb in the new tower on hard mode, maybe even on normal mode, right? The only thing is that usually the majority of people struggling with this content, they won't really have any good regen gear because he's not the only bomber that's able to kill this boss together with Gothic Neri and Volgot, right? There are plenty of other bombers that can do it. His only pro in here is the fact that he is spirit finicky, which makes him strong against the boss, and the boss might weak hit every now and then. But because I do have him so damn squishy, he's gonna die
annoying
times anyway, even if the boss weak hits, because the boss will hit for like 18k or more, and that is plenty of damage to just get rid of it, right? But this will get the job done. It's not going to be extremely fast or anything like that, but it will help you to keep the champion alive. And for whoever might say put Volgot at the back, that's not really going to be very beneficial because the rest won't really get killed as much. They will die. In some cases, like now, we got unlucky and Volgot died, but usually he doesn't die, and I'm still waiting for that Gothic Neri to try and revive him. But he chose to revive the bomber instead of Volgot because it's based on the rarity, okay? I might retry it just to basically come back to this space, so maybe Volgot is not gonna die because Gothic Neri will eventually get killed most likely. This is actually the first time when my Volgot died, so I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to continue without him or she's gonna get absolutely demolished. So you see, we are landing those bombs. Okay. Seems like that relic is pushing Gothic Neri back because we do have a golden elixir on that. Okay, put the bombs. Gothic Neri still up and running. That's fine. The Volgot died. It's okay. Seems like Gothic Neri can carry her own weight really, really well. There we go. I did try to use just the two of them without Volgot. That was not happening, right? So you could do something like this. I wouldn't necessarily recommend him for dungeons. You can use him in faction wars. I'm pretty convinced that there is a very, 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 very annoying stage somewhere right here. Now this one, don't land any weak hits. Get extra 5 turns. See the stage with all the champions alive. 7 or more buffs. The buffs can help you in there. Actually no, the debuffs. Sorry, defeat 3 enemies while they're under 10 debuffs. The bombs can help you in there. But we had something where we needed to kill enemies with bombs. Maybe not on this faction. We need HP burn. Wait, I went to the same stage twice. Okay, there you go. Defeat 10 enemies using bomb debuffs. It can be helpful in here if you do not have War Mother or other boss champions. Okay. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about the champion? Personally, I am most likely going to skip him. I don't really think that he's going to benefit me at all at the moment. I'm not able to foresee the future. I cannot tell you if the future will be more important in any specific content. We are expecting to have a big update this year. Who knows? Maybe bombers will be great in there. But very, very hard to know that. So make sure you guys weigh all of the pros and cons before you're deciding if you're going for the fusion or not. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will catch you all in the next one. Much love. Peace.
And then just show of hands, girls at the table, do you agree with her? Should boyfriends be providers in relationships?
Depends on their age, though, because like you can't expect if you're 18 dating someone.
Say
18.
you're 20, Nia, you're 23?
Yeah.
She's 23, you think 23, is that fair age to, by that point?
Maybe not expect to be completely provided for, but like
Pay for dates?
Pay for a lot of things.
That's a good idea. What do we mean by provider here?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Wait, no. What do you mean when you said maybe not pay for everything, but by 23 pay for boyfriends should be providers, right? Should girlfriends not be prostitutes?
Yes. Well, if I, like I said, I do OnlyFans. If I was with someone providing,
well, okay, here, I'll make it simpler.
then
Should girlfriends not be involved in sex work of any kind?
This is such a big deal.
yeah,
Hold on.
I do
hold on.
agree. Yes.
Oh,
they
you agree?
shouldn't. And if I was with someone providing, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
You'd quit?
Yes.
Isn't that a vicious circle, though? Like, if you say, a boyfriend should provide for me, but a boyfriend should not provide for a sex worker, but I'm a sex worker, then that leads to boyfriend should not provide for me, right? So, like, what?
Right now, I'm providing for myself, and that's the way I'm providing.
Yeah, okay, well then, let's take it to the
So-
next step. Should a boyfriend provide for a woman who was a sex worker?
I don't see anything wrong with it. If
Right.
he's dating me, he knows what I was doing, so he's gonna be okay with
He's just
it.
got to chin it.
He's gonna
cup it.
know.
You can't start dating someone that you know is.
So here's our circle now. The circle is, yes, boyfriend should provide, unless it's a sex worker, right? I'm a sex worker, therefore boyfriend should not provide for me. But if I stop being a sex worker, then boyfriend should provide, right? That seems like a very, very bad plan, right? It's like it's saying inside your own belief structure
We need one more way.
that a boy should not provide for you, right? You don't think so, at least not right now. But when you decide to stop and allow a boy to provide for you, that you should look past the thing that they shouldn't provide for you right now that you're doing.
Well, like I said, it's what I'm doing to provide for myself at the moment.
Right.
That's my way of providing. And, like, for example, my last relationship, he was okay with what I was doing.
Sure.
Like, the next partner I date, they're gonna know, obviously, what I'm doing.
Totally
and
understand
stuff,
all of that.
and
I agree with you that your
if
next
they
partner has to
continue
know.
talking to me and stuff, they're gonna know, like,
Totally
like I
agree.
said, so they're obviously gonna be okay with it.
Yeah, I agree that they would even be okay with it, but that doesn't actually do anything about this inconsistency. So I agree that your next boyfriend definitely is going to be okay with it. Your next boyfriend definitely going to know, right? Otherwise, he's not going to be with you. He wouldn't be your boyfriend, right? That wouldn't make any sense. But what is the reason that a boy should not be with you if you are currently a sex worker versus if you're formerly one?
Wait, sorry.
What is the quality here about being a sex worker that you think a boyfriend should not fund?
I'm just saying like, if they didn't like it, like if the conversation came up and they're like, oh, like, would you quit? I would.
Okay, so you're not actually saying that boyfriends shouldn't fund their women's lifestyles if they're sex workers. You're just saying it's okay if they don't.
It's okay, but I'm just saying that's what I prefer, and that's what I believe.
Yeah, no, I think I get it. You're not saying that they should. You're just saying if they choose to, that's okay. If they choose not to fund me because I'm a sex worker, that's okay.
Yes, but
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
Right, I understand. I'm just saying it's not that they should or shouldn't then. It's just if they don't mind is really what you mean. There's not really a should or shouldn't because,
Well,
right?
I'm talking about myself.
Yeah, even for
personally.
yourself.
I think
yeah.
they should.
They should.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they don't,
Then you're not gonna be with them.
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, what about maybe the fact that we live in a new generation and times are changing and there are a lot of women out here who have OnlyFans.
Sure.
And what about
I was
like,
actually
guys adapting to
interestingly
that?
enough, I saw now I haven't dove into this, right? So this could be completely wrong, right? Because I haven't dove into it, but it wouldn't surprise me that it could be as high as 1 in 20 of the Zoomer women will end up doing sex work of some type in their lifetime. Is the projection. Now I could be way off on that, and fact check me for sure, right? Because I don't know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case, right? So I'm going to concede that ground right away to you.
Okay, and then yeah, exactly. How would you feel if like you found a boyfriend and you guys are together and then he starts treating you really, really well and then he asks you like, will you delete your OnlyFans for me? And you go, of course I will, because
Sure.
you guys are on an understanding. He's treating you right, you're treating him right. I will delete my OnlyFans for you. How do you guys feel about about that?
I'm going to explain. I'm not going to mince any words. If it was my son, let's say, came to me and said, Dad, I love this woman. She's great. She treats me amazing, okay? And I just adore her. She engages in sex work. I'd say kick her to the curb, get rid of her. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances should you ever be with a woman like that. Way too good for her in every conceivable way. Don't do it. What would actually be the objection to that?
Yeah. Well,
Would you disown him? Would you
I'm not
still
sure
love
that
him?
I'm not sure that I would disown.
Exactly.
I would disown him. It wouldn't be immoral if she quit sex work for him to marry her or this type of thing. I wouldn't make a moral claim that he was doing something morally wrong. My advice to him, though,
Yeah.
would
that's
be
what I'm saying.
absolutely under no circumstances should you do this. You know what I mean? And it's a really bad idea, and you can find somebody way better than that. That would be my advice.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. For
Yeah,
sure.
I think that that's totally fair.
I kind of believe that that's a narcissistic point of view, but yeah. but
Why is
that's
it
how
narcissistic?
Because, like I said,
Well,
times
bring
are
it. Let's
changing.
get our terms right. What is a narcissist?
A man who just
A man?
a man.
Man?
Yeah,
A man.
literally, a man who is just delusional, honestly.
A man who is delusional.
Yes.
You don't think it's delusional for a sex worker to expect that she's going to get Prince Charming?
I personally don't ever expect to find Prince Charming.
Sure.
I've kind of accepted that I will
I
be
think
alone because of the
Well, I
decisions
don't
I've
understand.
made
What would the delusion here be?
as a narcissist.
No, what would the delusion here be by telling your son not to date a sex worker under any circumstances, even if you loved her?
If that's your opinion as a father, I don't think that's delusional.
Then
That's
why
not
would it
what
be narcissistic?
I didn't say that that was narcissistic.
Well, then what's the narcissistic part?
Okay, bring it back. When did I say narcissism? What were you talking
When
about?
I said that you shouldn't, if I said I would tell my son under no circumstances should you date a sex worker ever, period. You said that sounds narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
What about that's narcissistic? If narcissism means delusional.
Okay, and I will say again because I think that times are changing, and I think that you guys need to like broaden your horizon.
Sure, I get all that, but what about this is narcissism?
It sounds like you guys are wanting to own a woman
Yeah, but what about that would be narcissism?
because you can't own a woman. A woman's gonna be able to still have free will,
I'm sorry, there's places in the world where people clearly own women, right?
and that's crazy.
But it's not delusional.
That is delusional.
No, they clearly own them. There's no delusion there.
Well, that's fucked up.
Maybe it's fucked up, and I agree with you, it's fucked up, but it's not delusional.
That is delusional.
What's the
What?
delusion? Do you
That's
agree that they own
narcissism?
the woman?
These people don't understand definitions.
Delusional. That's evil.
It's evil. Yes, it's evil. It's wrong. It's immoral, but it's not delusional. Delusional is it's an untruth. It's not true.
Listen
Maybe-
very
maybe
carefully.
You're not listening.
Listen
To
Yeah,
you,
you're
it feels like
you're
delusional.
yeah,
and
but
you
you're not
can't
because
believe
you're not
that's-
listening, right? You got to listen to what's
I'm
actually being
listening.
said.
Listen to the words.
Don't tell me I'm not listening when I am. But go on.
Oh, okay. You're listening.
Yeah.
Human beings can't own each other and have never been able to.
He's not saying should.
Hang on.
He's not saying should.
Have they been able to?
Sadly.
Sadly, they have, right? So if I acknowledge that that is true,
Mm-hmm.
isn't that the opposite of delusion?
But I'm saying that I think that it's delusional that that is a thing. To
Okay.
own something.
hang on.
Okay.
I'm not.
The fact that it is a thing means that it's not delusional, so it's delusional means something that's not real.
Giving a moral prescription here and saying it's right. I'm just saying that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I still don't understand how it's delusional to acknowledge that there are people right now, men right now, who own women.
Well, I don't think it's delusional to know that.
You're right,
That,
right.
that they're delusional for owning women. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
but
trying to
okay,
say.
but how? Where's the delusion there? They own the woman. Right? What's the delusion?
All of it. It's
What do you mean
it's
by delusion?
immoral.
Keith?
Well, yeah, what does delusion mean
Yeah.
here?
It's a definition thing. It's not.
Yeah, what do you mean by delusion?
Delusion to me means not true. You
Okay.
living something that's not true, and you believe it is
Okay,
true.
okay, then yeah, I'm
She's just saying those guys
delusional
are
in
cuckoo.
the wrong way.
Yeah, okay, maybe they're crazy and it's immoral and it's
Okay, yes,
evil and all that. Like, I'm not disputing any of that, but if narcissism means delusional, it's delusional here. Like, where's the delusion? When I say don't date a sex worker, what's the delusion here? Like you have to? I don't know what the delusion is.
Okay, then I'm not using delusion in the right terms.
Or narcissism, maybe.
Narcissism?
So maybe me and you could agree on some other things, right?
Okay.
So maybe narcissism is, I would say, it's an antisocial behavior, which is extraordinarily rare.
Okay.
Like super duper rare. And even people who diagnose it get it wrong often and claim that they get it wrong often, right? Because there's no specific criteria where you could meet all the criteria and still not be that thing. So it's a very hard diagnosis, right? I've talked to various doctors, medical professionals who've explained this multiple times to me on my program, right? It's a very, very difficult diagnosis. So when people use the term narcissist, I just want to know, does that just mean you're an asshole? Is that what we're saying is like narcissist just means he's a fucking asshole?
No, just like in my experience with dealing with a narcissist, just someone who thinks that they can do whatever they want, walk over women,
Sure.
treat women however they want.
Yeah, but why is any of that narcissistic?
No empathy. They don't know empathy.
Sure, you can meet all those criteria though. You could be a person who chronically lies, is very egotistical, right? Believes that you're better than everybody around you, and still not meet the criteria for being a narcissist.
What's a narcissist then? Like
It's very difficult. It's a very nebulous term, just like most of these psychological diagnoses, right? Psychopathy, for instance, doesn't even exist. It doesn't even exist. There's no such thing as a psychopath. There's no actual diagnosis for a psychopath anywhere in the DSM. Never has been.
Well, I'm just thinking of certain people in my life, and it's just like, you're telling me this, then what are they? Are they
Maybe
just
narcissistic
assholes?
tendencies.
That's what I think. I think that when they say narcissist, they just fucking mean asshole, right? Just
or like
an
have
asshole.
narcissistic tendencies. Like
Yeah, but what does that mean? So again, it's such a nebulous term that has so many different criteria which it can or can't be that I'm always very, very skeptical when somebody says narcissist. I'm not even really sure what it means.
Okay, well,
Doesn't it also mean like somebody with a fake ego?
Could
or like
be.
somebody who like hypes himself up and to the
Sure.
world they seem like this person on this moral high ground, but they treat the people closest to them like crap?
Could be. All those could be criteria for that, or you could meet all of those criteria and still not be it. That's why I think it's nebulous.
Same with a lot of these diagnoses.
Same with a lot of these diagnoses. So because of that, I'm always very cautious about calling somebody a narcissist or a psychopath or things like this. I tend to use like lunatic, but I use it as a broad scope term to just mean you're a fucking weirdo, right?
Yeah, I
not
don't
as
throw
an
those
actual
words
like I've diagnosed you with lunacy. But back to this. I don't think it's delusional to say to a my son, never date a sex worker. No, or daughter, right? Like never date a sex worker, no
you're
matter
right.
what.
It's not delusional.
Yeah, it's
to
not
tell your
delusional.
child that, no.
So there's no problem with me saying that, right? There's no like objection you would have to saying that. But I think that that's the advice a lot of dads are going to give their kids.
Yeah, on any parent, I'm sure would say that to
Yeah.
their child.
Yeah.
Just like don't date a drug dealer or like
Sure.
you know, like it's just you're looking out. You're looking out.
Yeah, it's a
and
nefarious
that's fine
position.
as long as you don't drop them and say that you don't like your kid or like you like no longer want to associate with your kid just because they, follow through with it, you
What
know?
would be wrong with that?
Yeah.
You
Like if your kid
raised that kid.
yeah, but if your kid became a
if
sex
you don't love
worker,
say you don't love your kid without
Yeah,
saying
that's
you
not-
don't love your kid.
those are two
you know?
different things.
What?
Disassociating from a child doesn't mean you don't love them.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like you tell them, no, I do not like you anymore. You are out of my life forever.
Yeah, you can exclude them from your life forever. Doesn't mean you don't love them.
Well, I'm saying they told you they don't love you.
Yeah, well, that's different,
That's
right?
what I'm saying is
so if you just
that's-
directly say to
that's the
someone, "I
only-
don't love you," yeah, I think that
Exactly.
there's a distinction. Sure.
That's the only thing I would think that would make that situation.
Yeah, I'll grant that distinction, right? I just don't think that that's what happens. I think that parents tend to distance themselves from kids who do horrible things. And they don't
Yeah, for
want
sure.
they don't want that association with their family. That seems fair to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
They're
think
like,
with
you're
sex
bad
workers,
news, you're
it's
a
just
problem.
not that deep.
You're doing problematic things, and I don't want the association with my family name, right?
Yeah, that's
I-
totally fine.
Seems
I
reasonable.
get that.
I think it's reasonable to want the best for your child. It's also important to consider that there are societal norms in the state you're in, the continent, etc. And every family has different dynamics and different expectations for their children. So it's like totally, valid to not want your child.
If that's true, then why would you ever say the universal word better? Like it's okay to want what's better for your kid. If that just means a ton of different things to a ton of different people, right? Then I don't know what we're even talking about when we say better. I would think that we would agree on some things with better. So here's maybe some universal agreements for better that you and I can agree to. I want my kid to be really healthy, healthier than me.
Do I say yes every time?
Well, I'm just asking.
I agree.
Do you agree that that's better?
Yes.
Okay, I want my kid to be able to make more money than I did. I think that's better.
Yes.
Okay, I want my kid to have a kind of a very unique standard in the world where they're able to pursue their dreams in accordance with the morality of Christianity.
If that is your belief, I respect it. So, yeah,
it's better.
That's your household.
So
Yeah.
these are all better, right?
Yeah, when the kids
So
don't
then,
do
so
that,
then,
do that.
so then, by this standard, then what's worse, right?
I think it depends on the paradigms within a family and what that family expects of their children. Like, for example, my mom has been supporting every step of the way. I actually asked her before I started that. I said, hey, this is really important to me. I need your approval before I start this. Like,
What about your dad?
I don't have any access to him at all. He wanted me aborted, so he just stopped contact.
So fatherless home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Chase used to say this a lot with me on the program, that he associated fatherlessness with sex work, and I think that there's a lot of truth to that, because if you look at sex workers come from single mom families, it's pretty overwhelmingly high, right? I think that generally speaking, it seems to be the dads who put the kibosh on that, right? They don't want their daughters to engage in that. Like, I think from the perspective of a father, it's like revolting to them, right? It's totally
Well, yeah, no, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Shoot, I don't want my dad to be. I don't have a dad either. He's in prison. But
Yeah, there's a theme here tonight.
But like, if my dad were like all like happy and stuff about like my OnlyFans, I feel like I'd be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That'd be really weird. I don't know. My grandma and grandpa, they don't.
I don't know.
they
Why is
don't
it
like
less weird for your mom to be supportive, though?
My mom's weird. I think it's weird. Oh, I think it's weird.
Isn't
My
that?
mom is
But
weird.
you see what I'm saying?
My
Like,
mom's
why would it be less weird for the mom to be supportive than the dad to be supportive? To me, it's like
Make that
equally.
bad.
It should be
I don't
equally
know. If my
revolting
kid
to
has
both.
one,
I would
don't
think.
tell me. I don't want to know about it. And if other people talk to me about it, I'd say, "Why are you're weird for telling me that?" Like, I don't need to know that about my kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's none of my business personally. Just don't hurt yourself. I feel like I'd be a little sad if it was like I don't have any issue with porn stars, but like.
Well, where I was
it can
going
be
with
bad
this,
with your mental health.
I'm glad
That
you
would
brought
make
this
me
up.
feel
Where I was
bad.
going with this is the idea of better. So this is my ultimate question. Do you think it's better if you have kids for them not to go into sex work? Is that better?
Yeah.
Better? Better? Better?
I'm like thinking about it. For a
Okay. Better?
Better, but if they wanted to, I wouldn't judge them.
Then, okay, so you'd let them do something. Like, what if you were the deciding vote? If they're like, I really want to do this, Mom, and I think you'd be really good at it. It's going to make me a lot of money. Okay? And you were the deciding vote. If you said, on the one way, go ahead and do it, that would be the deciding factor for that kid, and they would go ahead and do it. Versus if you said, don't do it, that's the deciding factor, and they wouldn't. Which way would you fall?
I would let them do it if they wanted
So
to.
you would say, go ahead.
Because I do it. So why would I tell my kid they can't do it?
Oh, well, that's true. I smoke. Why wouldn't I tell my 5-year-old they can't smoke?
Yeah, but
Does that make sense, right?
like, am I gonna choose if they want to? Am I gonna tell my kid, oh, I want you to be a doctor, you're gonna be a doctor? Like,
No, it's not. You're gonna. No.
No, if
That's
they wanna
there's a
do-
distinction here in the pursuance of career. So, the askance here is like, I smoke cigarettes. My
Well, that's the
5-year-old,
same
my
thing
5-year-old
as the
comes
way
to
I'm
me.
putting
The
it.
5-year-old comes to me and says, Dad, you smoke. You have no business telling me I can't.
smoking and me comparing it to being something is different. You're
Why? What's the
comparing it to
difference? That
something
you're making an argument from hypocrisy. Yes, you
Because
can't
we're
tell
talking
them
about
this because it
if
would
they
make you a
wanna do
hypocrite.
Sex work, okay. I wouldn't judge my child if they want to do it.
But would it be
because I do
better?
it. Yes, I said before. I said yes, it would be better, but if they wanted to do it, I wouldn't.
Then you would tell them to do the thing that wasn't better.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying I wouldn't. Yes, it would be better.
So how do you want what's best?
It would be better. It would, but if
You're
they
supporting what they want.
So
Yes.
wait, hang on. I
It
want
would be
what's best for
better.
you.
Yes. but
Okay,
am I gonna
Okay, but you're the deciding vote. You're the. I'm not asking you to do any of that. Nobody asked you to do any of that. You're just the deciding vote. You can just, based on your advice at this critical moment, right? Right now, when they say, "Mom, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a lot of money," and you even foresee, "Hey, she's a beautiful girl. She can probably make a lot of money," right? You're the decider. Your advice at this critical moment of saying, "Don't do this," she won't do it. But if you say, "Go ahead and do it," she will do it.
Yes,
If you hang on, let me finish the question. If you say it would be better if you're not in sex work, and you say, "I want what's best for you," then how would you not say not to do it? That's what I don't get.
I would say that's best. Like no,
No.
because it would be best for them. But if they did do it, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't feel any way. Like they could do what they want.
But you would advise them not to.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Would
That's
you
all.
advise them to smoke? If that kid did come and say, "Mom, I want to smoke,"
How old are they?
20.
If they're 20, if they came to me and told me they wanted to smoke, I would say yes. If they're with me, I would
Mom, I want to do heroin.
no,
Mom, I want to do crack.
no.
Why? But I mean, I don't know. It's the train of logic. Why not?
It's completely different than
how so?
because it is.
Because there's negative connotations on a person's life. They do the thing, right? And so we're looking at the negative outcomes and consequences of the thing that you're doing. And so if you're looking at the negative outcome and consequences of being a sex worker, right, then we're looking at what's best. This would be the same thing. It's like crack cocaine, right? It's best that you don't smoke crack, right?
It's not the same thing.
Why?
How is that the same thing?
Well, we're making an analogy.
Crack cocaine is completely
These are both cups,
different.
right?
But they're both cups.
Hang on. They're both.
It's not
Hang on.
cocaine,
Stop.
it's
Hang on.
not-
They're
completely
both
different.
cups, right?
Yes.
Is this one made out of paper?
Yes.
And is this one made out of glass?
Mhm.
Well, then they're two different things. But we can still make an analogy, right? Using
But
the two. Hang on. If I was talking about the filling of the cups, we can still make an analogy based on the cups, even though they're not the exact same cup, because everything on planet Earth is different from everything else. Is why we use analogies, right?
Okay, so you're saying weed, cigarettes are the same thing as heroin?
No, I'm
and
saying
meth?
that the logic for what is best would be the same, right? So what is best for you? So I'd say, okay, if I think best, I'd say, okay, don't smoke, that's what's best for you. I'd say, don't do sex work, that's what's best for you. The logic entailment would be exactly the same. What's best? So when I say, okay, I want what's best for my kids, then I'd be looking at the big picture of what is best. So my advice, I'm not saying, oh, if you started smoking, Junior, that's it. You're done. You're out of the will. Get the fuck out of here. You don't ever come back, right? But if I was the critical vote, if they were going to do it one way or the other based on what I said, then my vote would be don't do it, right? That's what's best. That's all I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you phrase your questions a certain way, make us sound stupid, and then rephrase it, and then agree with
He's
us.
actually doing the total opposite. What he's doing is he's trying to make it as simple as possible for you so that you can understand it, and then he steelmans your case and explains to you what you think, and then he brings you to the logical conclusion. It's actually the opposite. He could easily use sophistry to confuse you if he wanted to, but he's making it as simple as possible.
And the reason I want to make sure is because I want to make sure you understand where I'm coming from. So that's why I always repeat back what you say to me. What you mean is X. Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, now I know.
Why haven't I felt that way this whole time then?
But because most people don't like the entailments in their positions, which means most people haven't really thought through what it is that they think about certain things. And when you ask probing questions, they don't like. They can foresee that by answering the question, it's going to lead to an answer that they themselves don't like, and so they become very resistant to answering the question because they know it's going to end up with, uh-oh, fuck, this doesn't make any sense, right?
But I feel like for the most part, we haven't really been resisting. We've been like coming to an understanding.
No, you haven't been evasive, but you haven't been evasive because, like he says, very poignant with the questions, right? That's why I steelman the position. Just want to make sure I know exactly where you're coming from.
What are the other reacts we have? Oh yeah, we'll do Kayla's tweet. The what?
What do you do? What did you do?
Yeah, okay, let's do the tweet and then that side. I wish I was born a man sometimes.
Yeah.
That was it. That's the only tweet. I just thought.
Wait,
Why?
whose
Because
tweet is that?
you like want a helicopter, or what do you want?
No,
what's
because
up?
I feel like, for example, just like industries are male run, and literally I sent the exact same text message, and my friend did, about like interviewing some artists, and they didn't reply to me, but they replied to the other guy.
Well, what evidence do you have that that's because you're a woman?
Well, okay, I don't have, it's not like 100% true, but it's just like, I just feel like men automatically give men more, like, they're gonna give the same opportunity. If they have the same, like, qualifications for things, they're gonna give it to a man. Because, like, their side. Or, like, they automatically, like, respect a man or take them more seriously.
Well, I mean, there's been some studies on this, and they found that men actually have an slight out-group bias for women, and women have a fairly large in-group bias for other women. So I don't even know if that's true. And then you have affirmative action that's witnessed in academia and in corporations, which gives women preferential treatment in hiring practices. Additionally, most HR departments that are responsible for hiring are predominantly staffed by women. So,
Well, okay.
Is it true?
For example, like when my friend wanted to start learning how to DJ or like make music, you're talking to these guys, and then they'll tell you they want to help you, like learn, they'll teach you, and then you show up, and no, they actually just want to fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've dealt with that.
And it just sucks. Because they are lying and saying that they want
Yeah,
to.
that's wrong.
They get your hopes
You know?
up majority of the
But
time.
if I was a man and I said the exact same things, then they wouldn't have wanted to try to fuck me, then they would have actually been truthful.
Well,
They just
okay,
wouldn't
not
help you at all.
but, like,
yeah, they wouldn't do
they
anything for you.
exactly.
Like, then I wouldn't have to like go through all this bullshit of like
I would rather just not
saying
do
like,
it.
oh, you're gonna teach me and like help me, but and like feed me all these lies, but really you just want to fuck me,
Yeah.
and it just sucks, cause like I just want to learn.
Well, I agree with you that it's wrong for men to sort of have ulterior motives in these sort of situations and circumstances.
I think it'd be far better for them to just be upfront and be like, I don't want to teach you anything. 'cause
Exactly, I would appreciate that too. Like,
Dylan Joe donated
Dylan, thank you so much, man.
$200.
Appreciate it.
Excellent panel tonight. Jake, Andrew, Brian, don't know why, but I want to build a cabin in the woods with you guys.
well,
BTW last week girl said I used a slur against Japanese girls.
Oh.
Not my intention.
Yeah, I know, but you just, I don't think that was your intention either, man. And you're all good, Dylan. You were just using, shortening the character so you could fit the TTS in.
but we're not going to build a cabin in the woods together, bro. That's not.
That's for next season.
Yeah, honestly, that sounds like a great time to me.
Well, going back to your thing, like you said that you wanted to get an interview with like it was a singer or a DJ or something?
an artist.
Did this male friend of yours, when you say interview, was this going to be published somewhere?
Yeah,
Okay, and did you guys work for like a magazine or what was?
just a media outlet.
You worked for the same media outlet?
We're working together.
You were.
I'm gonna be the interviewer.
Wait, you were working together,
Yeah, for their media outlet,
and so he reached out,
and they replied to him, but not me.
but you both reached out.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't it be sort of like, for example, if I get an email and like two people from the same company email me, there's like a duplication there on their.
But I said it earlier.
Yeah, what if he was just better?
Wait, so when you say he sent it earlier,
I sent it
or
earlier.
excuse me, he
And then
sent
he
it
didn't
earlier,
reply, so then he
How
sent
early?
like a day or two.
and then he sends
The
a
same
follow-up?
thing.
But what if you sent it via email?
Both were on text messages.
Oh, text message. Okay. So maybe he didn't even get to respond to the message.
I mean, yeah, it could be that.
I'm not
That
sure
was
if it's
just,
because you've got a pussy.
that was just
I'm
one.
not sure it's
that
'cause
was
you
just
have a
one
pussy.
example. You know.
But I always get confused by this. So it's like something unfavorable or something bad happens to a person who has this character trait, whether it's race or sex or whatever. And
I'm about
this
ready
bad
to thing
get
on
must
art.
have happened because I'm a member of this race or I'm a woman, because men don't do this. But so I'm always confused by this though. You need actual
Almost.
evidence of like something that would point towards the reason this happened is because I'm a woman, not just a bad thing happened to me. I'm a woman. Ergo, it
time me and my friend who run the DJ collective, we were booked for a show, and we're supposed to go in before the show starts, and security is like, "You're not a DJ, you're a girl." Wow. Then he was like,
Yeah,
haha,
sexist, people say
joking.
sexist things, sure.
Joking, he was joking, but like, just to even say that is like, just
Hilarious.
fucked up.
Yeah.
It's not hilarious.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? This
It's
one
not funny
time.
to me,
Yes.
though.
What?
It's
She
not
wants to
funny
be
me,
taken
though.
serious.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but if it was funny to you, since the joke was made at your expense, it wouldn't have been funny to everybody else. That's how jokes work.
It's just like,
Was he joking?
he said it was a joke afterwards after we showed like literal proof that
So
was
I would
on the
even
lineup.
take a different angle from Ryan, right? Like, I would even say I would go the other direction and be like, yeah, of course these guys just wanted to bang you. Of course they did, right? Of course they're going to
Yeah.
want to train other men how to do these things because they think that intrinsically they're going to be better at doing these things than you are.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, if they just want to have sex with you, it makes total sense to me.
I know, it just sucks.
Well, I mean, so you're saying that you need men.
No, I don't need men.
Well, then why does it suck?
They just want me to
Why can't you just find a chick to teach you?
It's more
because it's
predominant.
male dominated industry.
So you need men.
I don't.
It's circumstantial.
Well, I don't understand. If you want to know this skill and men gatekeep the skill, and you want the skill, then you need men, right?
No, we do not. Just look it up on YouTube. It's just like, why lie?
Then you don't need men.
I don't need them,
then
but
you
like,
then you didn't need to do any of this, right?
well, like it's easier to learn in real life versus like a YouTube video.
So then you need men.
I don't need.
Who
them.
teaches you that in the YouTube videos? Is it men?
No, there's girls.
Oh, so you only watch the female YouTube videos, or?
Goodness gracious.
Shut the fuck up!
How the-
Silent Terror
Oh.
donated $500.
Wait.
Let's get this burrito party started.
You failed.
W Discord, W Chat, W whatever podcast. This is half of the champagne
no,
pop in
no.
coordination with
No,
Noah.
no, 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 Silent Hero. You triggered the shut the fuck up message.
Which means you got to mute someone's mic. It doesn't.
Wait.
So.
Shut the fuck
Okay, I'll allow it.
Noah donated $500. Other half of champagne pop right here.
All right.
Jake, take a drink.
We'll allow
Ryan,
it.
go get burritos.
All right.
To the Crucible crew. Not one step back, boys.
Now one step
Not
back.
one step back. Noah, thank you, and then silence. Thank you, man. All right, I guess Maddie's off to go get me a burrito. Yeah, I'll text you the order. Or maybe do we send? No, we're gonna send. I think we sent Morgan. No.
Extra cream, Lily.
What the fuck? Hell
Extra
no, bro.
what?
Yo, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Wait, is this? It is a champagne pop. Can I get another
No,
champagne pop,
this is
please?
not burrito related. I actually have something to say about
Another
the
one.
topic.
Another one. Another one.
DJ Khaled.
Let's see. What? Oh, really quick, while we were doing that, so I'll come back there, Morgan,
Champagne
in a
pops are
sec, and
getting
tell you
me
what's
through
up.
this podcast.
Fair.
All right, so
Offering these girls substances, Brian. They look really upset by it.
Noah.
So mad. I'm pretty upset. So mad. And go and do this.
I guess.
Oh no.
What?
Wrecked, Brian. Wrecked.
Okay. What is going on? All right.
don't know.
That is
Tastes like crap,
disgusting.
though.
Excuse me.
That is.
That's my kid.
That's fucking disgusting.
That's so fucking hot. Can you do it again?
You know, some people pay for those burps.
Put it in a little jar for me
Yeah,
so I
they're
can
fucking
label
disgusting.
it.
That's also disgusting.
Oh. But I actually have something to say about.
Just make my dick go soft.
What? Like, I have another reason for why I want to, like, try to be a man for, like, at least one day.
Wait.
What?
Because you want to hump a chick,
Wait,
right? Because you want to hump a chick?
No,
Are you
not
sure
even
that that's not what you're
I
gonna say?
I want to get, I want to know what it feels like to get a blowjob.
Oh my god.
So hump
Like,
chick,
I wanna
yeah.
know.
Okay, but no, it doesn't need to be from a chick. It could be from a dude too. I don't care as long as I'm feeling exactly.
Yeah, but if you were a man, you probably wouldn't want one from a dude.
I feel like this is something that men and women think about, like what it's like to be the
Correct.
opposite sex.
Yeah.
Never thought about it for a second.
No, mine is
second.
only because
I bet you thought about it right
The thought
now.
of being mounted by a man is completely the
Yeah.
opposite. of
Andrew, you
what
want to
So you wouldn't like.
So you'd be the most
just look
boring.
Oh, yeah, of course you'd have to.
You'd investigate.
You'd have to clean yourself.
Exactly, you'd investigate. I
wanna
think
know what it
every
feels
man
like
would
to
do
be
that
able
if they
to
woke
aim
up a
and
woman.
miss.
Man for the beat.
Who wants more?
Do you object to value calls and value judgments when it comes to dating?
What do you mean? Like, in
Well,
regard-
I mean, do you object to a guy who would not want to date a woman who's overweight, for example?
No, I think that you can have whatever standard you
Okay.
want. And I actually agree with the standard about like men or women
Your
not
friend's fucking dying in the bathroom.
not what.
I'm kidding. She's like dying. Never mind. Good.
No, I think it's like one thing that I see argued on here a lot is that they like you guys will say it's fair for a guy not to want a woman that has a high body count, and I haven't really seen any good argument against that. And I actually agree with
Let
you
me
guys.
help you with that.
No,
I'm glad you brought
I
that up.
agree that it's fine to not want to be with someone who has a high body count
you
for
haven't.
multiple reasons.
Wait.
But wait, let's go back to supply and demand. Let's go back to supply and demand. Do you think that men would prefer, just on average, to have a woman with a low body count or a high body count?
I don't think that men care as much as
No,
it's
so
made out
let's
to.
say for a second that we took you and made a perfect clone of you. Like, let's say, I don't know, you had a twin sister or something like this, but however it was that your thought waves and brain patterns work were mapped completely onto another woman, which is an exact doppelganger of you. Okay, and a man could choose to fell in love with you. And the clone of you had slept with no people, and you had slept with 100 people, and it's the same person. Which one do you think the man would choose?
I think a large portion would want the girl who knows what the fuck she's doing.
That part.
Hold
So
on.
you think
Erroneous! Erroneous!
So do you think that they would prefer the promiscuous you?
Yes, this is a topic that's actually debated
Well, then
online a
what
lot.
you
that
should
can read
do
the
is just
comments.
look at the camera then and say that you're going to fuck a ton of dudes because you think it's going to raise your value to men.
Well, I don't give a fuck what anybody views my value as. I don't have a high body count, and I don't want to
Yeah, but why would it
down-regulate
matter
my
if you
fucking
did? Just means you're
oxytocin
more
receptors
experienced.
by sleeping with a bunch of people aimlessly.
Yeah,
Wait.
but wouldn't people love you more if you did? Wouldn't men love
Some
you
guys
more?
do prefer women who know what they're doing. They don't want to have to train somebody. Some
What?
men
Oh
men
my
are possessive and like want someone to themselves, and I think that's also fair. And one
Well-
argument that women have against that is like, oh, men only don't want a girl with a high body count because they're insecure. Even if that is the case, like who cares? Like they're allowed to
Well,
feel
I don't know.
insecure.
It seems to me that the value of virgins, since there's so few of them in society, has skyrocketed in the dating marketplace, and that men are competing over them a lot more than they're competing over women who are highly promiscuous.
Has this
Are you
been
competing?
studied?
Is this like are
And
there
also-
Actually, yes.
statistics on
If
this?
a guy's a virgin, to me
on
it's
the
a turn off.
preferences on the
I'm like,
preferences
ew,
of body
that's
count.
disgusting. If
Well,
a guy's
okay,
a
let me
virgin.
answer a question.
Men and
on
women
men
aren't
Can we
the
flip
same.
this?
over
Can we switch this
virgins.
around?
We can, but just let us finish our argument. We're almost done. So, yeah, there has been studies for preferences for high or low body count, and men tend to prefer lower body count. Yeah, that's true, and they do tend to compete
Yeah, it's been
a lot more over women who are virgins. They tend to compete a lot more for them. So it seems that based on supply and demand, there's a lot fewer virgins, so the supply of them is down. The demand for them is up.
Okay,
Right.
but
So
what?
they can be virgin then. That's
No,
why.
what
They're like, I was
percentage?
virgin so I can take her virginity.
What percentage of women
And
that
then
are
they're not a virgin
conventionally
anymore, so they're
attractive are
worthless, right?
going to remain virgins up until the point of marriage?
Very few.
Very few, right?
Yeah.
So then that brings in the predicament of reality versus idealism, which is ideally very attractive women.
Their Alme Paul donated $200. Dating marketplace is obviously different than a market for goods. If you want a more complete partner, some level of exploration is necessary.
Which is
Virgin is bad, but so is promiscuity.
Virgin is bad.
Totally agree.
I don't think.
Disagree.
I don't think
Disavow.
virgin.
Disavow.
No, every single marketplace. She's a psychologist. She should know this, right? Every single marketplace in economics also runs off of psychology. It also runs off of
Right,
consumer trust. It runs off of how people feel about the product. Successful marketing campaigns tug at heartstrings, has nothing to do with the product at all. So no, all
So what are these
marketplaces
studies
are
and like
essentially
how
the same.
recently were they done?
What's that?
How recent are these studies?
I have them. Nick, can you get those pulled up, please? There's like multiple studies, both of them, please.
What's the background on the studies? Were they just random men that they picked up
I'll
off
have
the
to-
street?
Well, I mean,
and
to be
they
fair, we
gave
could
us
like
a
pick
rating?
apart any
Because-
study.
No, many of these have had a meta-analysis there have been a meta-analysis done on these studies, and that's
did they do it for women too? Like, did they ask women what they thought about men that were virgins?
Okay, but this is not what we're talking about.
Well, no, yes, actually, we do have some studies on that too. It seems to be less important to women than it did to men.
Nick, a little less zoomed in, please. Okay, scroll down just a bit. So there was a study in 2023 re-examining the link. Hold on. Re-examining the link between premarital sex and divorce. Scroll down. There was one in this other one, sowing wild oats, valuable experience, or field full of weeds, personal relationships, and some, I don't know. There's another one from 2018, fewer sex partners means a happier marriage. There's 2018 from Wolfing Promiscuous America, smart, secular, and somewhat less happy.
Yeah. But
there's 1974 premarital sexual behavior.
But that's not the topic. The topic is, where are the studies that specifically say that men prefer women with less body counts as
Show
opposed
the next
to
tab,
not?
Nick. The next one.
And I don't discredit that you could be right. I just haven't seen.
There's a whole bunch of.
Because those are not good examples of that.
Promiscuity and infidelity.
I could still not the topic. Have they given correlation?
2017.
Okay, so listen. I can agree with all of this. By the way, I am highly aware of the neuroscience behind why having a bunch of sex partners is not good for you. It essentially down-regulates your fucking oxytocin receptors, and for men, dopamine. Well, both women and men, but more so with men, the vasopressin and the dopamine. So it's not good. If you want someone who can actually emotionally connect, you're gonna find that person less likely, because what happens?
You're talking about pair bonding.
You create like a neural imprint. And
then why earlier did you just say that most men would prefer women with high
No, I'm not saying most. I'm just saying I don't know that it's the case that men care. Like, I've heard and I've seen on online debates, a lot of men say they would prefer to be with someone who knows what they're doing, who has a little more experience.
I think those men are probably.
I personally think it's having a high body count is not ideal. Like, for me, because it's the same.
Why not?
Issue in men, because I want someone with properly functioning dopamine receptors who's not going to be more prone to risky behavior, and that can actually pair bonds and be monogamous, because that's what I would want out of a partner. Also,
so why would you make the assumption
promiscuity
that this
can
is not
also
true the other direction?
Promiscuity can also reflect like mental health issues, not to stigmatize them, but like you have higher promiscuity
so
with like
proxy
BPD
for
and
mental
NPD.
health issues. That's another justification for